Let's talk country. All right, how's it going, you lovely lot? Grab a cuppa and pull up a chair. Ever flicked through the radio and landed on a song that just felt real? A tune with a story, a bit of heart, and maybe a cheeky bit of fiddle in the background. Chances are, you've stumbled into the brilliant world of country music. Now, hang on a minute. Before you think it's all just cowboy hats and sad songs about lost dogs, give me 14 minutes. Just 14 minutes to show you there's a whole universe of music here that's as exciting, diverse, and full of absolute bangers as anything you'll find in the charts. Ready to have your mind changed? Let's get this show on the road. Think of this as your backstage pass. We're going to peel back the curtain on a genre that's all about storytelling. It's about life's big moments and the small ones too. From falling in love on a Saturday night to feeling a bit lost on a Tuesday morning, country music has a song for it. It's honest, it's raw, and it speaks to something universal in all of us. No matter if you're from Nashville, Tennessee, or Norwich, England, it's music for the people, by the people. So, forget everything you think you know. We're about to dive in and uncover some proper gems that might just become the new soundtrack to your life. This isn't going to be some dusty old history lesson, I promise you that. We're going on a bit of a road trip together. We'll explore the roots, meet the legends, and find out what makes this music tick. We'll look at how a sound born in the mountains of Appalachia ended up taking over stadiums across the globe. It's a story packed with incredible characters, surprising twists, and tunes that will get stuck in your head for all the right reasons. By the end of this little chat, you'll not only get what country music is all about, but you'll be armed with enough trivia to sound like a proper expert down the pub. Let's rewind the clock a bit. To really get country music, you have to understand where it came from. Picture the Appalachian Mountains in the early 20th century. It's remote, it's rugged, and life is pretty tough. People who settled there, many of them from Ireland, Scotland, and England, brought their folk songs with them. These were ballads and stories passed down through generations, sung on porches and around fires to pass the time. They sang about love, tragedy, and the old country they'd left behind. This was the seed from which the whole genre would grow. Then, something incredible happened. The wireless. Radio. Suddenly, in the 1920s, these isolated communities weren't so isolated anymore. Radio stations started popping up, and they needed content. They found it in the local musicians, the fiddlers and banjo players who had been keeping these traditions alive. Shows like the Grand Ole Opry, which started as a simple radio barn dance in 1925, began broadcasting this hillbilly music, as it was called then, to a massive audience. The real big bang moment for country music, though, came in 1927 in a little town called Bristol on the Tennessee-Virginia border. A record producer named Ralph Peer set up a temporary recording studio in a hat factory looking for new talent. Over 2 weeks, he recorded 2 acts that would change everything: the Carter family and Jimmie Rodgers. The Carters brought beautiful harmonies and a treasure trove of traditional songs, essentially creating the blueprint for country songwriting. Jimmie Rodgers, the singing brakeman, brought the blues, a distinctive yodel, and the persona of the wandering, romantic figure. Alright, so, what makes a song sound country? Let's talk about the nuts and bolts, the instruments that give the genre its signature flavor. Of course, the acoustic guitar is the backbone of it all, the storyteller's best friend. But then you've got the fiddle. Not a violin, mind you, a fiddle. It can be lively and make you want to dance a jig, or it can be mournful and break your heart. Then there's the banjo with its bright, rolling sound that instantly transports you to the front porch. These instruments, all descended from European and African traditions, are the heart of early country music. Then comes the instrument that, for many, defines the country sound, the steel guitar. Whether it's the lap steel or the pedal steel, its sliding, weeping, and almost human-like voice is unmistakable. Now let's have a quick chat, you and I. We're about halfway through our little journey here, and I'm genuinely curious. Has anything surprised you so far? Are you hearing this music in a new light? Pop a comment down below and let me know. What's the first country song that ever caught your ear? Or who's an artist you reckon I should be listening to? Don't be shy. Let's get a proper conversation going. Like this, subscribe, share it with a mate. Let's build a community of music lovers right here. Right, back to it. Beyond the instruments, it's the vocal style that really seals the deal. Country singers have a way of delivering a lyric with a certain honesty and a regional twang that makes it feel authentic. It's not always about being technically perfect. It's about conveying emotion. From the high, lonesome sound of bluegrass to the smooth crooning of the Nashville sound, the voice is the primary vehicle for the story. The lyrics themselves are often direct, clear, and focused on painting a picture. It's a style that values clarity over complexity, ensuring the story always takes center stage. That's the magic formula. Country music has never stood still. It's always been evolving, changing with the times while holding on to its roots. After its birth in the 1920s, the 30s and 40s saw the rise of the singing cowboy in Hollywood, with stars like Gene Autry and Roy Rogers bringing a romanticized version of the West to the silver screen. But back in the real world, a grittier sound was emerging in the bars and dance halls of Texas and Oklahoma. This was honky-tonk, the music of Saturday nights powered by electric guitars, loud pianos, and songs about cheating, drinking, and heartbreak. It was really the sound of real life, amplified. The 1950s brought a seismic shift. A young lad from Memphis, Tennessee, started blending country with rhythm and blues, and the result was rockabilly. His name? Elvis Presley. He, along with artists like Johnny Cash and Jerry Lee Lewis, blurred the lines and brought a rebellious energy that terrified parents and thrilled teenagers. In response, some Nashville producers decided to clean things up. They created the Nashville sound, a smoother, more polished style with lush string arrangements and background vocals. Artists like Patsy Cline and Jim Reeves had huge crossover hits with this sound, making country music palatable for a mainstream pop audience. Then came the 60s and 70s, and a bit of a rebellion started brewing. Some artists in places like Austin, Texas and Bakersfield, California, felt that the Nashville sound had become too slick and had lost its soul. This was the outlaw movement. Led by absolute legends like Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings and Merle Haggard, these musicians took creative control back. They grew their hair long, wrote their own songs, and produced their own records. Their music was raw, honest, and stripped back, returning to the rebellious spirit of honky-tonk and rockabilly. It was a massive moment, proving that country could be cool and countercultural. The 80s and 90s saw another explosion, as new traditionalists like George Strait and Randy Travis brought back the classic sounds. Then came the stadium fillers. Artists like Garth Brooks didn't just sell records. They put on shows that rivaled rock concerts, with spectacular lights and stagecraft. Shania Twain blended country with pop and became a global superstar. This era proved that country music could be a commercial juggernaut, dominating the charts and reaching audiences all over the world. Each era built on the last, adding new layers and proving the genre's incredible resilience and ability to reinvent itself. You can't talk about country without talking about the absolute titans of the genre. These are the people who didn't just sing songs, they defined eras. Let's start with Hank Williams. In a tragically short career, he wrote a songbook that is still the gold standard for country music. Songs like I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry in Your Cheatin' Heart are masterpieces of simple, powerful songwriting. He was the hillbilly Shakespeare, a troubled genius whose pain and honesty connected with millions. He set the bar for what a country song could be, and his influence is still felt in every corner of the genre today. Then you have Johnny Cash, the Man in Black. What a legend. He was more than a singer. He was an icon of rebellion and redemption. He had this deep, rumbling voice that sounded like it came from the center of the earth. And he sang about prisoners, sinners, and saints. His live albums recorded at Folsom Prison and San Quentin are some of the most powerful and important records ever made in any genre. He walked the line between country, rock and roll, and folk, and he did it all with an unimpeachable air of cool. He was a true original, a voice for the voiceless. And you simply have to talk about the queens of country. There's Loretta Lynn, the coal miner's daughter, who wrote unflinchingly honest songs about the realities of being a working-class woman. She sang about things no one else was singing about, like birth control and the double standards faced by women, and she became a feminist icon in the process. And then there's Dolly Parton. What can you even say? A phenomenal songwriter, a brilliant businesswoman, a global icon of kindness and glamour. From Jolene to I Will Always Love You, she's written some of the most timeless songs in history, all while building an empire. Across the generations, new stars have kept the flame burning bright. George Strait, King George, has had more #1 hits than any artist in any genre, period. He's the epitome of classic, no-frills country. Garth Brooks took that foundation and turned it into an explosive stadium spectacle, becoming one of the best-selling artists of all time. And today, artists like Chris Stapleton, with his bluesy, soulful voice, and Casey Musgraves, with her witty, progressive songwriting, are pushing the boundaries and proving that country music is as vibrant and relevant as it has ever been. These are the faces on the Mount Rushmore of country. All right, time for some fun facts to impress your mates with. Let's pull back the curtain for a few juicy bits of trivia. Did you know that the Grand Ole Opry, the most famous stage in country music, isn't just a venue? It's a live radio show, and it has never missed a single Saturday night broadcast since it started in 1925. Not for wars, not for floods, not even for a global pandemic. Here's another little nugget for you. The legendary songwriter Chris Christopherson was so desperate to get his songs heard by Johnny Cash that he landed a helicopter on Cash's front lawn to hand-deliver a demo tape. Talk about making an entrance. Ever wondered about the story behind Dolly Parton's classic, I Will Always Love You? It's often mistaken for a song about a romantic breakup, but it's not. Dolly actually wrote it in 1973 as a farewell to her mentor and duet partner, Porter Wagoner. When Elvis Presley wanted to record it, his manager demanded half the publishing rights. Dolly, the savvy businesswoman she is, said no. A tough decision, but one that made her millions when Whitney Houston's version became a global phenomenon. And one last one for the road. Willie Nelson's beloved and battered guitar, named Trigger after Roy Rogers' horse, is almost as famous as he is. He's had it since 1969, and it has a massive hole in it from years of his aggressive strumming style. It's been signed by dozens of his friends and fellow musicians, and he says that when Trigger gives out, he'll give out. That guitar isn't just an instrument, it's a part of him, a roadmap of his incredible life and career. It's a perfect symbol of country music itself, a bit worn, full of stories, and still making beautiful music. So, there you have it. We've taken a whirlwind tour through the heart and soul of country music. From its humble beginnings in the mountains to the global stadiums it fills today, it's been quite a ride, hasn't it? We've seen that it's a genre of immense depth, diversity, and passion. It's about so much more than stereotypes. It's about real stories, real emotions, and real people. It's a genre that has constantly evolved, adapted, and reinvented itself, all while staying true to its core principle. Telling the truth, 3 chords at a time. I hope you found something new to love. Now I want to turn the spotlight over to you. This conversation doesn't end here. What's your take on it all? Who is the one country artist, old or new, that you think everyone needs to listen to right now? Is there a song that hits you right in the heart every single time you hear it? Maybe you have a favorite memory attached to a country tune, a wedding dance, a road trip, or just a quiet moment of reflection. The beauty of this music is how personal it is, how it weaves itself into the fabric of our own lives. I'm genuinely fascinated to hear your stories and your opinions. What's the most surprising thing you learned today? Did any of the facts we shared make you go, no way? Perhaps you disagree with something I've said, and you've got a different take on one of the artists or movements. Brilliant! Let's have a proper chat about it. So please, don't be a stranger. Get involved in the comments below, and let's keep this conversation rolling. Share your favorite tracks and your hidden gems. Ultimately, music is about connection. Country music does that better than almost any other genre. It builds bridges between people, places, and generations. So, go on, put on a playlist, explore some of the artists we've talked about, and let the stories in. Thank you so much for joining me on this little adventure. It's been an absolute pleasure. I can't wait to read all your thoughts. Until next time, keep listening and keep sharing the music. All the best. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more musical journeys like this one.